Lennart Green, born on December 25th, Christmas, 1941. That means he is 78 years old now. Wow. The master of chaos himself, known for his unorthodox, crazy antics, doing card magic that people at the time just didn't understand. Take this for instance. In 1988, at the Swedish FISM World Championship of Magic, Lennart Green performed a series of card effects and a close-up style performance and was disqualified by the judges for cheating. They believed that he was either A, using stooges, or B, he was using gimmicked cards. And they didn't budge on that, and they disqualified him for it. He came back in 1991, performed the very same routine, and this time he instructed the judges to take the cards in their hands, shuffle them themselves, check them out, make sure they were legit. After that, he was awarded first place, catapulting him to just international success. 2005, he would give his iconic and most memorable TED Talk. I'll leave a link to that in the description. But this is a guy that I've looked up to for a long time, and he has so many moves, and and he's just so far ahead of his time. Like, even now, as I watch his performances and I watch the spectators react, it's more of a loss of reaction. It's as if they don't know what they're seeing, and therefore they don't react. They don't applaud whenever he hits a certain move or something, and you can kind of see him either being a little frustrated or maybe annoyed, and maybe that's not even the right word, but he moves on, and there's a few people that catch it, and you know, they'll cheer him on and stuff like that. But a lot of times people, he's so good at what he does, people don't even know what they're looking at. And that's just how beautiful his magic is. A very chaotic, unorthodox style. I mean, he just mangles a deck of cards. He does some of these false shuffles that just brutalize, just annihilate a deck of cards. I would love to have a deck of cards after Lennart Green performed with them, and just see a mangled mess of just bent, bruised, beaten cards, broken, and just, he's hard on cards, but he's good at what he does. There is a method to the madness, for sure, and you'll see that bleed out ever so subtly in his performances. Guys, this is famous magician moves dedicated to Lennart Green. The snap deal. So I put together a little montage. I don't do very much Lennart Green stuff, but I do a couple things, a little montage of some moves of his that I do, and as well as we'll talk about the snap deal. Guys, I hope you enjoy this. I think most of us are familiar with his snap deal, which is very difficult. It took me so long to learn this, and I'm still not perfect, but it is beautiful. He starts out obviously with the laser. It's a high frequency beam. Actually stolen from a Russian satellite, probably copied from America. You know he's patterned. He changes it up. He's hilarious, but it's a nice little trick where he disappears all the cards. And, you know, so we all know what's happening. It's no mystery. But just to get that move down is really difficult for me. And I know a couple ways to do it. Here's another one. Man, it's a great move, and it's fun to perform. It is fun. I'm using the Jerry's Nuggets, by the way, just because he uses Jerry's Nuggets in a lot of his older performances. So, yeah, the snap deal. It's not self-explanatory. You always hear, oh, it's self-explanatory. It's not. There's a lot that's happening. And, yeah, I'll tell you what, and here's the thing. Usually I point people, or I direct people to the person that, you know, we're talking about, a tutorial where they teach it. Lennart doesn't teach this for free on YouTube. He does teach it. It's on some of his material out there, and I will link you to an at the table lecture, a Penguin Live with Lennart Green. It's $30, but it's, I think, 4 hours of material. I don't actually own that. I've never saw that. I would like to pick it up someday and check it out. But where I learned it was from Takumi Takahashi. So Takumi Takahashi is a student of Lennart Green, and a Japanese student. He has that whole gangster sort of personality. He's got the whole gangster setup going on for him, and his card handling skills by far are gangster, if I could say that on this channel. This guy is, and in the words of Lennart Green himself, the student has preceded the master. And so Takumi Takahashi, great guy, but he done this project called A Study on Lennart Green. And that project is like $30 or $40, but here's the thing. They have pieced out these little sections. And so say you want to go and learn a bunch of Lennart Green's false shuffles. Well, you could buy that portion from this study that he did on Lennart Green. You could buy just the false shuffle section. Is for like $4 or $5. And they have the snap deal on there as well. You could just buy the snap deal for $4 or $5. Takumi Takahashi goes over Lennart Green's famous snap deal, his laser deal. He does cards to coins with the snap deal. He goes over a bunch of applications, and for $5, guys, you can't beat that. I will link that in the description for sure. That's where I learned it. I was able to pick up 2 of the sections, his false shuffles and false cuts section, and as well as the snap and laser deal. The snap deal, people sort of use these words interchangeably, these terms, the snap deal and laser deal. Now what this is, the snap deal is the actual sleight itself. The laser deal is the name of the performance, where they actually use the laser. And you go into the snap dealing and you know the techniques behind that to disappear and reappear the cards. Guys, I can't say enough good things about Lennart Green, and we're going to end with this. I have a deck of Lennart Green tribute cards produced by Takumi Takahashi. We're going to do a very quick review of those right now. These cards say the Master of Chaos, Lennart Green Tribute, designed by Takumi Takahashi and Mr. Lennart Green. The Master of Chaos playing cards, produced by Hansen Chin. And I don't have a lot of Hansen Chin deck, guys, but they have a very unique feel to them. They feel similar to Chicken Nuggets, if anybody has those, or the Odyssey playing cards. They have like if you look at the cards, they have this like, these lines that kind of go throughout. If you can see that or not. There we go. Yeah, maybe not. Anyway, very similar to, what you call it? The, what's the Belgium? Cartamundi. That's kind of what they remind me of, but they are quite a bit stiffer. So yeah, on the back design, it says, you know, it has some, it's hard to read what this says. It has a quote from Lennart Green, I believe. Then it has this little, trying to focus here, let's see, this little laser from his iconic laser dill performance. You can see it just there. And guys, these are fairly standard faces. I'm going to show you some of the cards that stand out. You got the Queen of Spades producing a glass of beer. That's something that Lennart does. He takes like an empty glass, throws a handkerchief over it, pulls it away, and is left with a glass of beer. Let's see. This is your Ace of Spades. It's the Master of Chaos, just there. Very cool. Some of these cards are, obviously they're all odes to Lennart Green and something he does. Let's see if I can get this to do just a little bit better here. And so, and I'm actually not familiar with some of these, what they are. So he used to be a violin maker. I do know that. He had a lot of odd jobs. Not so odd once you hear them. He was a prison guard at one point, which he is a pretty big burly guy. I can imagine him roughing some people up if he had to. He was also a doctor. He had a private practice over in Sweden for like 7 years. So he was actually a doctor as well. This is one of my favorite jokers ever. It says, "Contact with the mothership." I don't know why my focus is acting all crazy today, guys. I'm so sorry. This is an iconic performance where he duct tapes his eyes, and then they wrap aluminum foil around his head, and he proceeds to find the entire suit, all the cards in a given suit. Somebody yells out spades. He, he lasers his eyes, duct tapes his eyes, blindfolds himself with the aluminum foil. Then he shuffles and then proceeds to find all of the spades. Very cool. Guys, these are what these look like. I'm not sure what this is. This is some type of puzzle he does. And it's 3 blocks. 3 blocks. And you pick up all 3. And then you pick up 2. And then you pick up 1. And the idea is when you get to the last brick, it's actually heavier than if you were to lift all 3. That's what I know about that. I haven't seen him perform that, but I read some on it. Not sure what that one is either. This looks like he's pulling out a tiny card with a picture of a suit on it. This is a cool one right here. He has some kind of like bulb. And then there is a 7 of clubs reveal. That's difficult to see in the other bulb that the Queen of Diamonds is holding. Then you have Mr. Lennart Green, the King of Clubs himself, holding what looks like a little bean or some type of object that is one collar in this hand and then another collar in that hand. You got identical jokers. This is probably my favorite one. It shows him laser beaming his own eyes, and he does that before he does the blindfolded routine. He starts by taking off his glasses and then pointing the laser into his eyes, and then he duct tapes it, and then he puts the aluminum foil, but that's what that is an ode to. I know we're all huge fans of Lennart Green, guys. Check out his TED Talk if you haven't already. Search some of his stuff. You'll love it. I know I do. And check out Takumi Takahashi. Guys, stay safe. God bless. We'll see you again.